I'm ready. What up? Let's get to it. So Colin Cowherd, capping and yapping again, yeah. I say Colin Cowherd, capping and yapping again, yeah. Now we've seen this before, numerous years. Colin Cowherd comes out and says something erroneous about the Vikings, or at times it may have been true. But at the end of the day, he always finds a way, some slick way, just like every other so-called expert, analysis, etc., analyst, etc., find a way to hop back on the Vikings nuts. We seen it last year. Colin Cowherd, one of the main ones, talking about the Vikings. Oh, they may be the third best team in the NFC. They might be the worst team in the NFC North. Disrespected Sam Darnold, et cetera, et cetera. We've seen this numerous years. Then when the Vikings start performing at a high level, start stacking up wins, Sam Darnold started balling out of control, huh? Then here we go, Colin Cowherd back on the nuts, and everybody else in the NFL world. But it's not surprising. It's not shocking. Yeah, we no longer are shocked by what these analysts and so-called experts say. These media outlets, even some of the Vikings media outlets, huh? Everybody hops back on the bandwagon. Everybody jumps on the Vikings nuts. So this is no different. Yeah. Colin Cowherd, and I'm going to get into the article soon, maybe the video, dog. But Colin Cowherd basically says the Vikings are the worst team in the NFC North. Wow. Can he really sit here and say, how could anyone say, I don't care, you an expert, draft analyst, NFL scout, whatever you are, dog. How long you been in the industry doing it? How could anyone confidently sit and say that the Vikings have the worst team in the NFC North? Not the second best team, not the second worst team, not the third worst team, but the worst team in the NFC North, dog. With all the acquisitions they have made this free agency, dog, bringing in Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrove, Ryan Kelly, Will Fries, right? Isaiah Rodgers, who is really an elite corner, looking like a steal there. Jordan Mason last night. Huh? Are you kidding me? Out of all the big talks and everybody saying how much the Vikings have improved, they've attacked aggressively every weak point in their roster, on their roster, attacking personnel needs, dog, letting Garrett Bradbury go, getting him out the building, re-signing players, Byron Murphy, one of the top cornerbacks in the NFL. You hear me? Come on, bro. Re-signing Aaron Jones, still playing at a high level if he can stay healthy. But now with the acquisition of Jordan Mason, it makes it that much better. He doesn't have to carry the load. You have a reliable back in the backfield now alongside him. It's clearly evident that the Vikings have gotten better. But Colin Cowherd, now I don't know if he just wants to go against the grain, has something against the Vikings, but every season, let me make this clear. Every time when the Vikings are winning, when they're shocking the world, doing the unexpected, then he wants to come back, do a full 360, dog, and change his narrative, change his tune, invite players on the show, invite Kevin O'Connell on his show. He's capping and yapping. He's just a capper and a yapper. You hear me? That's how I feel about it, dog. Every season, every year, Colin Cowherd finds a way to hop on the bandwagon, just like everybody else. And guess what? It won't be no different this year coming up, huh? And Colin Cowherd, message to you. When the Vikings start balling, maybe damn near dominating the NFC North like they did last year, besides when they played the Lions, and they should have beat the Lions the first game. That second game, okay, we give them that. We know what it was, what it is, what it ain't. But when they dominate the NFC North, do a clean sweep again, including versus the Lions, I don't want to hear nothing. You hear me? I don't want to hear nothing out your yappers and cappers. You beat us, Colin Cowherd. Sit there and be quiet and keep that same energy. Yeah, keep that same energy you have now. The nerve of him, the audacity of him to disrespect the Vikings, but this is nothing new. This is what comes with the territory. This is what the Vikings have created, so to say. People will continue to disrespect them, continue to disrespect Quasi, even though he's had a phenomenal offseason, fans included. They will continue to disrespect Kevin O'Connell, period. JJ McCarthy, the whole squad. They don't care how much they've improved. They don't care that they've brought elite defenders in the building in the trenches, elite offensive players in the building in the trenches. Huh? Ryan Kelly is a dog. Will Fries is a dog. Period. What was he like? The fourth ranked guard last season, as far as his play. But people want to just throw that under the rug, not talk about that. But I can't wait to get into this article, read this article, and really break it down. Because why on earth would Cowherd fix his lips to say something erroneous like this here, dog? Make it make sense. Fire them comments up. Let me know how you feel about it. Feedback is much appreciated, dog. Let's get into this thing here. No need to waste more time. Let's really break it down. Colin Cowherd really is capping at the highest level, homie. And I mean the highest level you can cap at, bro. This is some high-level, elite capping. You hear me? No way around it, dog. Give me a second, man. This dude is delusional out his mind. Gotta be. Maybe he had too much coffee yesterday morning or whenever he made this statement, huh? Let's get into it. Colin Cowherd says Vikings have worst roster in NFC North. Predicts last place finish. Wow. The Fox Sports host had a wild take on his FS1 program on Thursday. Now you got to ask yourself the question: is he doing this just to rile things up? Did he just say something this crazy just to go against the grain? Because he knows, I'm sure deep down he knows the Vikings have improved, dog. Maybe the most improved team thus far. So is he just saying things to stir people up, get people going, get people talking, huh? Oh, you don't know, bro. Despite a 14-3 regular season, the Minnesota Vikings clearly saw some deficiencies on their roster following the wild card loss to the Los Angeles Rams. Excuse me. Minnesota has been methodical in its approach to address those areas in free agency. That's included splash signings to bolster the interior of their offensive line and defensive lines, the re-signing their top corner and bringing another into the fold, and bringing back their starting running back and legendary safety. They did lose last year's starting quarterback, Sam Darnold. So what? Get him out of there. We know what time it was, what time it is, huh? To the Seattle Seahawks. But they appear to be confident in the abilities of their young gunslinger, JJ McCarthy. He is going to ball. He is going to be an elite player. I stand on that 10 toes down, dog. You hear me? It is JJ McCarthy time. But all accounts, the Vikings have excelled in free agency and built an excellent roster. Well, almost all accounts, Fox Sports' Colin Cowherd apparently isn't too impressed with the Vikings' big addition in free agency. Despite adding big names like Will Fries, Ryan Kelly, Jonathan Allen, and Javon Hargrave to a roster that won 14 games and beat every team they faced not named the Detroit Lions or Rams, Cowherd thinks the Vikings roster is the weakest in the NFC North. Wow. And he predicts Minnesota to finish last in the tough division in 25. You heard that right. The NFC North. This is the toughest division for me in football, Cowherd said on his FS1 show. And that's facts. No denying that. The Herd on Thursday during a segment where he predicted the division winners and all the playoff teams in the NFC for the 2025 season. The Lions have the best roster. I'll pick them 1. The Vikings have the worst roster. I'll pick them 4. Wow, the worst roster? Even after all these moves, the worst roster. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, bro? And how do we know the Vikings roster isn't right there close or slightly ahead of the Lions roster now? And Chicago Bears, what? Because they signed a couple of guards and they got a new coach? They haven't proven anything. What are we talking about here? You really want to compare rosters? Because Chicago signed some guards. I give them that. They attacked their trenches. But calm it down. Stop the press. Let's wait and see what really happens, homie. Now, it's hard to argue against the Lions having the best roster or that they'll repeat as division champs. They're certainly the front runners after a dominant 15-2 season that included sweeping the NFC North. They return a lot of their core roster and will likely be a force to be reckoned with. But it's tough to make an argument the Vikings have the worst roster. Come on now. Sure, they were weak on the interior of the offense and the defensive lines last year, but that's what they addressed in free agency. Facts. They have the same top-notch offensive weapons. Most of the impact players on defense are back too. Cowherd is a noted fan of Darnold, who had a resurgent year last year in Minnesota. McCarthy still remains an unknown. Had Cowherd made the argument he doesn't trust McCarthy, that could be fair facts. Now, we can understand that, like the man just said. Now, McCarthy, unproven rookie, coming off an injury, season-ending injury, unknowns, dog. Who is he? Can he play? Can he not play? You know, are the Vikings building the right personnel around him to protect him, put him in the best situation possible to perform at a high level? All right, cool. Boom. We can give him that. You know, we can excuse him for saying that, right? But for him to say the Vikings are the worst team in the NFC North, come on, bro. Come on, Cowherd. Stop the cap, homie. Stop riding nuts. Stop riding nuts, Cowherd. You hear me? I'm talking to you directly. You directly, homie. Respect, but I'm talking to you directly, Cowherd. Period. McCarthy hasn't proved anything yet, and he'll have high expectations on his shoulders as a top draft pick on a good team if he enters 2025 as the starting quarterback. But worse roster? Chicago's got a tough road schedule, no question. But they literally went and got Pro Bowlers on their interior O-line. And again, if they can get a running back with their first pick, Cowherd said, the coaching upgrade in Chicago from what they were to what they are is going to be like the quarterback upgrade from Will Levis to Cam Ward. In a world full of ifs. And the Vikings talk about Pro Bowl. Ryan Kelly is a Pro Bowler, right? You hear me? Come on, bro. What are we talking about? Ain't Jonathan Allen a Pro Bowler or was a Pro Bowler? Has played Pro Bowler caliber football? What are we talking about here, Cowherd? He's capping and yapping, bro. He's out of it. He is delusional. He's just saying something to say something, bro. Now, all of a sudden, because Caleb Williams has protection, he's going to be a superstar quarterback. They said the same thing last year. They said the same thing about the Bears last year. Oh, the Bears going to be a playoff team. Caleb Williams going ball. They've already ruined that dude, dog. Hands down, man down. It's going to change outcomes. I have Chicago second. Here's Green Bay. It's tough for me because I've got to be totally honest about this. I really felt for Jordan Love. They just paid this man $220 million. They have no cap space. Who is Green Bay? What are Green Bay? Huh? What moves did they make this offseason in this free agency class? What the hell has Green Bay done for him to put Green Bay ahead of the Vikings? Are you kidding me, baby? Stop the cap, man. But last year against playoff teams, dude completed 60% of his throws with a passer rating of 81 and was 2-6. In the building at the end of the year, I watched the way they coached him. I think they lost some confidence in him. So I think Packers is down to the final week of the year to figure out who gets into the playoffs. This dude wilding, man. And I want to play this here, but I don't know, the copyright, they be going hard, dog. And we pretty much know what he said, so no reason to say it. He's going to say the same thing I just read. There are certainly a number of scenarios the Vikings could end up last in the division. Perhaps McCarthy isn't as good as advertised or ends up injured. Injuries could pile up elsewhere and leave the Vikings shorthanded at another critical position. Injuries can happen for any team, dog. Huh? What are we saying here? Injuries are part of the game, part of the process, huh? And guess what? Vikings have depth now on every side of the ball. Yes, we would like to see them pick up a guard, draft a guard, maybe another tackle just because, just for backup situations. Of course. But at the end of the day, every team, any player can go down and get hurt. Oh, now it's just specific to the Vikings? Oh, the Vikings, the only team that may lose a player to injury? Come on now, bruh. How many players went out last year to horrific injuries? Look at the Lions, homie. Cowboys, etc., to name a couple. What are we talking about here? Injuries can attack any team in the NFL at any given time. You just hope and pray your team can stay healthy and be healthy, especially during playoff time. Cuz, you feel me? Come on, bro. You got to be kidding me here, baby. But if the Vikings end up last in the NFC North, it won't be because they have the worst roster. Frankly, aside from the Super Bowl champions and the Lions, there aren't many rosters right now you could argue are better than the Vikings. Thank you. You hear? And that's the article, man. I don't even got to hear Cowherd's yappers. And I ain't going to risk a copyright from hearing his yappers, huh? Capping at all that, man. This dude is capping at the highest level. At the highest level, my boy. Stop it, Cowherd. Stop it. Period. Whoever that media outlet was, they did a good job. They were speaking facts. If anything, you say the Vikings have the most improved roster in the NFL. Not just the NFC North, right? The NFL as a whole. I don't care what nobody talking about. So let's not get caught up in Cowherd's antics. But I ain't just finna sit here and let him cap and yap, him or no one else. Respect Quasi. Respect the Vikings moves that have been made thus far. And be on the lookout of more moves to come, homie. We here. Respect it or check it. And like I say, we run the North. Believe that. Hey, fire them comments. Let me know how you feel about the video, man. Let me know how you feel about Cowherd's statement. You agree or disagree for real. Say how you feel. Make sure it's real, homie. Big SKOL here. SKOL Vikes. Win, lose, or draw forever, man. Yeah.